Well, it's getting that time of year again, and here in about 2 weeks it's going to be spring gobbler season. It's hard to believe it's rolled around another year, but it truly has, and I know all of you are getting excited about the upcoming season. Some of you have been asking for some new videos, and so I thought I'd come out here today and do a little bit of scouting and come back to an old familiar place that's lived in my head for about a year now. Right here at this tree, right here, I was sitting here last year and I saw the largest wild turkey gobbler I've ever seen in my life. What makes it sad, the cameraman will just follow me, is I missed that gobbler. We named him Splinter. The reason we named him Splinter was because if you can, I don't know if the cameraman can zoom in on this, but right here, that fence post is taken out. And that was my shotgun shells. That was my shotgun pattern that morning that took that turkey, that took that fence post out. Not the turkey, I wish it had, but I missed that turkey last year. But it wasn't so much I missed him, it's that I probably should have killed him, and probably would have if I wouldn't have made one bad mistake. And you know, you learn by your mistakes. So I want to teach you my mistake that I did that morning. Hopefully you won't do it this year. I know I won't, but you know, and I should have known better, but it's a simple mistake that a lot of us can make. We roosted that turkey the night before. Me and a buddy was hunting that next morning. He was hunting with me, and so I wasn't by myself. We was parked over here right across the valley. We was parked over here on this other ridge, and we was trying to roost the turkey that evening. We heard this turkey right out here on this ridge top, and so the next morning we come up just like you would. We come up this little food plot, we come up this fence row, and right here, we never heard him. We sat here waiting the next morning to hear him. We never heard him, he wouldn't gobble. We came right up through here, this tree, and we just gonna kind of wait and see, you know, if he was gonna gobble out the ridge, we gonna go after him. Well, it kind of got a little bit after daylight. This is classical turkey, hunting here. We just kind of sat, he never gobbled, so we just took us a seat here, just to wait to see if he started gobbling. I sat right here, just like this. I sat down, I was in full camo, had my face net down, and we sitting here. Had my gun across my lap, and he was sitting right behind me, facing that way. Well, we sitting here that morning, and it's about 7:30, about 7:45, 7:30, 45 minutes that daylight, something like that. And he gobbled right out the hill here. This little bitty cow pasture field right here, he was right at the edge of it. I knew he was close when we heard him gobble. We were sitting there that morning. I watched him, I could see his big tail fan coming over right at the edge of the field out through there, and he was coming right up through here. When he got right here, about 35, 40 yards, I could see his big old white head. He had a hen with him. The hen come right here about 15 yards. He come right here. I just knew he was going to come right to her, he's going to follow her right to me. Been a 15-yard shot, chip shot, even through this fence, it'd have been a 15-yard chip shot. Knew it. But he got right here about 30 yards, and he seen something he didn't like. He started to turn, and that's when I took, and he was getting ready to take off, and I shot and hit the fence post. Therefore, my buddy named him Splinter because he said he had to get some splinters. He was so close. And I'm going to get Splinter this year. I'm going to try. And so I know he's still in here. But let me show you. Remember I told you we sat right here. And my buddy was sitting like this. I was on that side. He was sitting like this. And he was down like this with his gun, looking down this way. Because we had another group of turkeys down here that morning. The problem was when he started gobbling, and I should have known it because he was just a first-year turkey hunter and I was the veteran. He done this. When he got closer, my buddy done this right here. And I'm not blaming him for this. It's my fault because I should have told him. But he did this. This is what he did. He put his shoulder up against the tree and looked behind him. Look, all this is, I'm stuck out, ain't I? And he's a lot bigger than I am. He's a big guy. So he was stuck out more. Now I'm sitting here up against the tree like you're supposed to be, but he's doing this. But my mind was on the turkey. And when he done this here, just watching the action, and he seen the gobbler come out, and he was, we was sitting there just whispering to each other, man, this is awesome. Wow, what a gobbler. He was strutting and gobbling. But when that turkey got right in line with him, he seen something that wasn't right. What'd he see? There's no background. There's nothing to break his outline up. Turkey got right there, he saw him, and he just knew something wasn't right. And he started to turn. My fault, because I should have known, you know, you don't ever set like this. And a lot of people, they will. A lot of guys will set like this when they're turkey hunting, and you're asking for a bad, it's going to mess you up. You always want to set with your back against the tree, just like this. You want to set with your back up against the tree. What happens is if you don't have some kind of something to break your outline behind you, you're going to be skylined. And it's going to cause you a world of problems when it comes to a wily old spring gobbler, especially one that's been around 4 or 5 years like that one. Now, I'm honest, and I can tell you, and you know, I'm not good at judging turkeys on the hoof, you know, like a deer or something, but if that turkey didn't go 27, 28 pounds live weight, and my buddy could tell you, he could verify it, he saw it. That was the largest turkey I've ever seen in my life. His beard drugged the ground, you know he had to have some major hooks on him. But see, he'd been around 4 or 5 years to know that big blob that he saw, I ain't calling my buddy a blob, so, but that thing that he saw just wasn't there, you know, before, and it caused him just to get a little bit skittish. So you always want to make sure that you've got a good backdrop, okay? You don't ever want to be stuck out, you know, you don't ever want to be resting your shoulder up like this. You know, you don't ever want to be, you know, like, you always want to be up against something, and you want to be full camo, and you don't ever want to be stuck out, because it's going to cause you, it cost me that turkey that morning, it cost you yours. So what if you don't have a tree? Well, I'm going to show you a little trick. Now let's say you don't have a tree. Let's say you're hunting a food plot like this one, and turkey's down in here, and let's say that you don't have a tree, now you're hunting up against a fence line. Turkey's down here, or he's up here, or he's down here, and you don't have, so here, always remember, don't set up against a fence post unless it's got a lot of brush around it, because fence posts are small and you're going to be stuck out more. What I do, if I don't have a tree, I'll find something like this. Now, I'm not going to get in there because I'm not actually going to be hunting today because the season ain't open. But let's say I just, you know, turkey was gobbling down here, and I seen this sit down because there's a lot of thorns in there. And if I was going to hunt, you know, if this was actual hunting, I'd go ahead and clear it out. But I'm not, you know, not hunting today. So here, I would find me a place like this. I would sit down full camo, and I'd sit back against this. I'm kind of camoed in here with the back. Now again, you don't want stuff in. Now I know some guy, I've done the same mistake, and it's cost me a couple turkeys. I've done the mistake of thinking, you got to get in this big brush pile. No, because what's going to happen, if you got brush on this side and you got brush on this side, what's going to happen? If he comes here, you're not going to have room to swing because all this brush is going to be in front of your barrel. Don't ever have something beside your gun. But make sure you have stuff behind you, because you don't want to be stuck out with nothing. See, that's got a lot of thorns in it. But you want to keep stuff in behind you to break out your outline. Right back here, 25 yards, that morning, I'll never forget that morning as long as I live. That was the largest wild turkey. His whole fan came from ground to ground. His beard was like a big paintbrush. Just looked like he was on steroids. Largest wild turkey I've ever seen in my life. But I made a bad mistake because I didn't take precaution in making sure that my guy, the guy that I was with, my buddy, was concealed enough and not outlined. You can make this mistake even by yourself hunting. You can make when you set up on a turkey. You know, you can use a tree because you know that works, but make sure that you set up against a tree that's larger than you are, because what'll happen is if you get a tree smaller than you are, you're going to be skylined. Or don't ever set up shoulder against the tree. Make sure your butt's on the ground, your back's up against the tree. If you're stuck, you know, you're going to have a lot of problems because that turkey's going to see you. He's going to be able to spot you, and it could cost you the biggest turkey of your life. So that was just a quick tip that I want to give all of you. Make sure you set up against a good cover. Your background is important. Make sure you set up against a good tree, back cover, because you don't want to make the mistake that we did last year. Maybe cost you the largest turkey of your life. Hey, I'm looking forward to this season. Hope you are too. Send me your emails and pictures, and stay tuned to the channel here because we're going to have a lot more turkey tips for you. God bless you is my prayer. and I hope that you kill a big one this year.